up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Wiley Show. I love you all. So I'm going to get right into the commentary this morning. I need to have this mic in my hand when I get into this commentary because the first subject we're going to talk about is the governor, Abbott, the governor of Texas, decided to give us Texans a message. Okay, all right. Let's put him up. Production, put him up on the screen. Now he decided to roll up, not walk up, roll up to the podium, and put a order to us as Texas and telling us, to governor, to residents, safest place for you is at home. Now let's pause. Now CNN put a headline 18 hours 7 minutes ago, and it said Texas governor to residents, the safest place for you is at home. The safest place for you at home. But he was the one, the governor, rolled up to that podium and said that we are taking away the stay-at-home order. We're able to open up. We're going to open up in phases, knowing that it wasn't going to last because people are not going to listen to social distance. Once you take away that stay-at-home order, which is like mandatory, folks are not going to upheed or hurt or listen to a stay at home. We listen to the stay at home, boom, but they're not going to listen to social distancing. Even certain clubs in Dallas, Texas got shut down because they had so many people, way more than 20, 30 folks. So they're not going to listen to that. What's going to happen is what's going on now. People are getting the Rona, passing it on to folks. Hospitalizations have increased. You even see that hospitalizations have increased as well as people on ventilators has increased. And let me read this. As Texas sees its highest number of positive tests and hospitalization, Governor Greg Abbott advised residents to stay at home. Now, folks are not going to listen to no stay-at-home order. The best thing that could have happened is he could have continued to stay at home, asked President Trump to give us some more stimulus checks. And we could have that. President Trump said in an interview that they're going to be giving out some more stimulus checks because, he know he's losing in the polls. And he know the best way to increase back into the polls is giving away stimulus check. But if that was Obama giving away some stimulus check, it would have been a problem. It would have been the way he's giving away, what do they call that? Welfare. The welfare. He giving away all this welfare to these people, all these poor folks. But now he see that that's strategic to go ahead on and say, hey, let's go ahead on and pay it to get back into office. Let's give away some more stimulus checks. So, but in Governor Abbott's case, and I really can't completely blame him because the president of the United States wanted the country back open. And they're not giving money to states because states run by how much money you put into the pot, how much money you put it back into the economy. Businesses put a certain percentage back as well as residents because you're working, you get a state tax or whatever taxes, the business tax, whatever taxes the state gets. That's how they get their money if you know what I'm saying, in order for the state to run well. And I don't believe Texas is in debt like certain other states, but Texas want to make their money. They don't want to be $30 billion negative. They don't want to have a negative balance. So I think one of the reasons why Governor Abbott said, hey, I'm going to open back up the state, and you all just go ahead on, we're going to open up in phases. But we knew that wasn't going to work. I'm tired of them too, because in the reality of you knew, and Governor Abbott, don't get me wrong, he did say, listen, I don't want to open it up. It's not safe. We need to do this safely. But people started to resist, and a lot of white Republicans started to resist. They started to go to state capitol. They started doing exercise. They started to protest. It was a resistance, and this was before George Floyd, and so he was under a lot of pressure to keep this state going. Then, plus with the George Floyd, when those officers put their neck on George Floyd and he died in the hands of the Minneapolis police. Now we are yet dealing with a situation that stuff was burning in Texas. So now he's under more pressure to open up the state so the state can get some money back. So it's really rough. Shout out to my friend Pastor Tom Anderson. He tested positive for COVID. So he's asking for you all prayers. Anybody know I love Pastor Tom Tom Anderson. Apostle Tom Anderson, actually, he tested positive for COVID, and he lives in Houston. So make sure y'all keep him in y'all prayers. So this to let you know that this stuff is still going on. Pray for D.O. Hughley. He tested positive for COVID. Pray for him as well. So people are getting this. And some folks ain't showing no symptoms. So wear your mask. Keep your bottle hand sanitizer. Disinfect where you go. If someone is coughing, don't be around nobody with no fever. If they sneezing and coughing, get away from them. That's all I got to say about that. If you're around somebody sneezing and coughing, get away from them. Let me say that again. If you're around somebody sneezing and coughing, get away from them. And somebody said his son too. So y'all definitely need to get that together, because we are yet dealing with a society of folks dealing with this virus, and this virus ain't holding up for nobody. Okay, how saved and holy you are. The Rona is definitely there. You could be just as holy and still can catch a Rona, because it took out a lot of Kojic bishops, and the bishops, some of them holy. I can't say about everybody. Yeah, I sent you the number, so whenever you're ready, you can just call in. Yeah, whenever you're ready. All right. So, so all that stuff is going on. Then we got to get a guest to come up on the show. If you're dealing with somebody that's sneezing, coughing, having a fever, that don't mean that they hot, that they want you. No, don't be so quick to let folks go down on you, and you say, oh, you sweating, you like you got a fever. Get away from them. Don't worry about it. They even telling people don't have, relations. Don't be going down there getting it in. Have on a mask. So I'm telling you right then and there, you got to stop doing all that, because it ain't safe out there. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. How that record go? It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe out there to be doing all that time. It is not safe. Follow the CDC guidelines. Some of y'all never wanted to go to the club. Now you want to go out. Don't go out to no club. It ain't safe. I'm just telling you right then and there. Hello, I'm inviting people to come on the show. All right. And so the governor got a hard job, because he did try to shut down. Now, I'm not going to sit here and just be criticizing Governor Abbott and just be criticizing. He did try. But the people wanted it to be back open. He tried. He got an election going. He came up in his wheelchair. He rolled up there to the podium. He rolled on up there, roll on. He rolled up there, gave his statement. You know what I'm saying? And he opened it back up because the people wanted it back up. Let's see. Let me see. I got my guest on. How you doing, brother? You live on the air. How you doing?
I can't complain. What's going on?
Not much. Let me turn you up. But this is announce yourself so they know who's on the line.
Well, Jamar Nelson, but on Facebook, Jamar Bernard.
Yeah, Jamar Nelson. How you doing, man? How's everything?
Well, it's busy down here. We've experienced about 27 shootings, 27 people being shot since last Friday. And,
wow.
We had yesterday was the longest we've been without a shooting, and that was 24 hours. So it's been real hectic here. And then, so the people that want to talk about dismantling and disbanding the police, I hope that you are cautiously watching what you say, because this is the results of if you get rid of the police, you will have a state or a city full of lawlessness. And this is crazy. So,
but brother, you're from, to put it in context, you live in the same city that George Floyd was killed in, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And so everybody.
Let me say that correctly. I live on he got killed in South Minneapolis. I live in North Minneapolis, so it's kind of like DeSoto.
Okay.
Just like that.
It's still like around the same place, because tell us how's it going right now? Is the police? So I'm hearing from the ground for some activists that the police are really not policing. They're afraid to police. Is that accurate? that's going on in Minneapolis?
That is extremely accurate.
Okay.
No, that is extremely accurate. Police are not policing. Sometimes when they get to crime scenes or scenes, they are met with rocks, glass. Their cars are pelted. So no, they are not being able to police. And I get it, but I think that it's also too dangerous. There are people that need services. We've got to learn to, and listen, I think that this does change the narrative of how police are treating people. That's obvious. But again, to just totally disband the police department would be silly when we know that gun violence is on a rise. It's not, despite what Department of Justice and those folks say that it's on a decline, gun violence is on the rise. Again, we've had 111 shootings here since George Floyd died on the 25th of last month. 111 shootings.
Wow.
And 9 homicides. 9 homicides. And we're not even partially through the summer. So this is crazy.
Because I'm hearing that it is resistance, and I want to make it clear about defunding the police. I don't believe in abolishing the police because there's a difference between the two. Defunded is putting resources in other departments that have been neglected for generations, right? Been neglected for the past 10 or 20 years. But in this case, dealing with what's going on, since you have a resistance for the police, I do personally agree with President Trump that the National Guard need to be activated, because now the trust between the police and the public has been broken, especially in Minneapolis, especially in where they're currently dealing with that situation. Until they work on that, because the spirit of George Floyd, a lot of people is doing it within his spirit, and some are just doing it because they're ignorant. They taking this as a come up. They want to commit to do crime, and we as Black folks have to call out those are doing bad. We just can't take up for everybody and say, oh, the police did this. Yes, I understand that, but you do have some people in our community just want to do crime, just want to commit crime. They see this as a come up. And if we don't be honest with some of the folks in our community, then we are part of the problem.
No, I think you're right. No, there are those that are just using, that have used George's death to, go around and be greedy, to be selfish. Then there are those that, like myself, that are fed up with the abuse of the police departments across this country. But I think, again, there's nothing wrong with taking money. We have our police department, our Minneapolis Police Department has a budget of $200 million. That's a pretty large budget. So I'm not mad if we take some of that money and divert it towards different resources, training, different things that we could do to improve officers, and so I'm with that. But I think, again, when you talk about disbanding them, first of all, I don't think the state will allow that to happen. So to me, it kind of pisses me off that these city council people are doing all this talking when they know that this is going to happen, because they're trying to be politically expedient to appease Black folks that are pissed off that enough is enough, right? That they haven't done enough. So yet and still, the job that I work with crime victim families. I've been at most of these shootings. In fact, I've been at all of them. In fact, last Saturday night, I was involved in the shooting where 11 people were shot and one died. And I was at work, and we were in Uptown. And when the shooting rang out, and I was about maybe 100 feet from the shooter. So that's pretty damn scary that I'm at work and could have lost my life due to ignorance,
Wow.
Or some gang wars, a gang that's going on. And to me, let's keep it real. A part of this is because a part of these states are opening up. They're opening up their bars and their restaurants. And folks are thirsty as hell to get out and have a good time. And this is the results of what's happening. So do I blame the governors? In a sense, because I think especially Republican governors, they're caving in to Trump saying that he wanted states open because he was worried about the economy. And so this is the results of what's happening, i.e. in Texas there, you've got a huge number of new cases of COVID. So Florida and things of that nature. So what are we doing when you got high numbers of new cases of COVID and now gun crime. We've got to sit down and have dialogue about the remedies of trying
even
to
in Chicago. Not to cut you off, they had a uptick in crime about a week or two ago. A lot of places are facing that. Even with Breonna Taylor, a family, they want justice for Breonna Taylor, and now they just fire one of the detectives. So, but yet none of those folks have been charged with a crime yet. They're losing their job, but they should be serving time in prison. So, what's your opinion on that? Because I did hear that it was a report that they did arrest one of the detectives. Do you feel like that Kentucky should have a special prosecutor should be involved in that investigation?
Absolutely. You need to take the investigation outside of the police department and those regular prosecutors that are friends with these police officers, absolutely, like we've done here. You do need to let the attorney general oversee the case or a special prosecutor. The fact is, again, I hope that our chief has set the tone for what mayors and police chiefs would do across this country when it comes to police-involved shootings with unarmed black and brown men. Expeditiously fire their asses. And that's what our chief did. And I think that set the tone. Look what Atlanta did after the killing of Mr. Brooks. It has to be the norm of when officers commit crimes like this, there is repercussion. Not only prosecution, but it makes it easier, because I know with most police departments, their police unions are so strong, most of these officers are able to get their jobs back after they've been fired for whatever the reasons is. So we've got to start honing in on police unions. It's okay to call for the firings of a police chief and things of that nature, but things doesn't change. There's no reform unless we go after these police unions who are incredibly strong and most of the time get these officers their jobs back. So we got to start organizing, strategizing on, and focusing our energy on the corruption that happens in police unions, not just police departments.
Right. Because even in the Breonna Taylor, they only firing the people. No one has been arrested. And what gets me is it's going to take Kentucky to burn for them to react. And that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that folks have to burn things down in order to get justice. And it's a bad problem because up at the top, he's going for law and order. Then you got the bottom, we don't want to intervene like that. So it's a problem because the government is not on one accord. It's different approaches from the local, state, and federal level, and that's dangerous. We need the government to be on one accord, and as well as the community on one accord, because you got half of the community activists saying abolish police. Then you got those that say defund the police. Then you had Sean King talking about white Jesus need to come down. Those statues need to come down. As though, to me, giving words to protesters that, to tear stuff down. But the president, he now signed, I think he have an executive order that he will enforce you to get serious prison time for tearing down statues or public monuments and all of that. So he even tweeted. So I urge people, be very careful tearing that stuff down, because if you get caught, and they're going to throw the book at you. So don't do that. Don't listen to a Sean King from a man that's not even on the front lines, that are behind his computer writing. He's not doing the damage. So don't go and try to do stuff when folks tell you to do something. They ain't on the ground. They in a penthouse, getting coins from the movement.
Correct.
I'm just saying.
That's right. No, that's real. No. And what you're saying is just real. It annoys the hell out of me when you have activists that are not a part of the process. You know what I'm saying? That
Absolutely.
Are not out in the struggle. Like you said, when you have these folks that are saying, burn this shit down, burn that down, and this should happen, this should happen. And then you look to see, okay, well, where is he at? Or where are these individuals? I was in the New York Times last week, where Black Lives Matter, one of the leaders here, called me a Uncle Tom. And so the reporter called me to ask me about it. And I laughed. I said, well, first of all, you tell how ignorant he is, because he doesn't know who Uncle Tom is. And I'm proud to be an Uncle Tom. I said, he should probably call me a Sambo if he was smart. I said, because Uncle Tom is a freed slave that have free other slaves. So yes, I'm proud to be Uncle Tom. I said, but dude, when does Black lives really matter to you assholes? When? When does Black Lives really matter? You know what I'm saying? So you all can try to come after me because I'm defending my client, the owner of Cup Foods, where the murder happened of George Floyd. They can come at me for trying to defend my client instead of being in our communities, bro. Which is crazy because every time that there's a police involved shooting, you see those dudes around. But when it's black on black crime, you never hear nothing from Black Lives Matter. So I'll ask again, and I hope somebody from Black Lives Matter that's part of it or leaders listening. When does Black Lives matter to you? Does it only matter when a police takes our life, or does it matter, or shouldn't it matter to you even more when we're out doing it? Probably not.
I feel you on that,
right?
and I agree. And this is why I say Black Lives Matter need to matter first with us as Black people.
That's right.
Before we scream at other groups of people, because what going on with the crime killing, right. It was a mother, I believe, in Baltimore, in West Baltimore. I believe there was that part. She lost her daughter. Her daughter was shot and killed in an underserved community. But she said, when are we going to protest for this and how outraged for folks killing our loved ones in our community? And I agree with that. I look at Chicago, the crime is have increased. When are these activists, when are the Reverend Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, all of these Black Lives Matter, Sean King included, talk about the violence that happens in our community? I think that we need to discuss that as well, because now, what's happening now with the police, they just give up, go ahead on, do what you got to do. And that's bad when the morale is down. So they need to work on that. And Democrats need to change up their language, because some of them is saying stuff that they really don't believe in. They just going by what the people is doing, because some of them talking about abolish police, but yet they got Secret Service guards, they have weapons protecting them. So stop talking about abolish something that you're not even living by. Okay, you want to abolish? Okay, fire all your security. Leave out of that neighborhood that's gated community with all the security, okay? If you want to abolish something. But if you're not willing to do that, stop preaching abolish when the community don't have any investments really to even tackle the crime, because poverty, in my humble opinion, produces crime. So if you don't put no type of investments in those underserved communities, then you will always have crime. That would be if Beverly Hills loses their job, everybody is poor, can't make it, you got a drug addict, the crime in Beverly Hills will be high, whatever, so that will just tell you something right then and there, that you got to tackle poverty. And that's why I believe in Reverend Barber, the Poor People's March or the Poor People's Campaign definitely need to be talked about on the Democratic. I believe that needs to be on the agenda coming from the National Democrat, the DNC, because we do need to tackle poverty in this world, in this country.
So listen, you just said a mouthful that I agree with a lot. Let me start with number one. When you have city councils, such as my city council, 9-person city council, deciding that they want to defund, dismantle the police department, that's crazy. And you're not even in our hoods. You don't come to our hoods. I'll say again, a part of these 27 people that have been shot since last Friday, I have not yet to see one city council person. They're still at home on COVID protection. So don't come telling me about shutting down police departments and all that when you won't even get your ass out your house and come check out some of these scenes, some of these crime scenes. I also think that it's imperative, though, that we have to ourselves stop listening to people that call themselves leaders, sometimes even the elected leaders, when they're not doing enough. If you've been complaining that enough hasn't been done prior to George being killed, how of a sudden now are you in agreement with people that are saying, let's dismantle a police department because they and I'm not here to defend police, because for real, I've got a gash on the side of my head where I took 13 stitches from the police about and 20 years ago. So I'm not going to defend the police. What I'm defending is my community, and want to be one of those folks that in our community that doesn't just become a prisoner of the moment instead of us calming down, being rational, thinking about, okay, if I abolish the police, who is irreparably harmed by doing that? Of course, it's our community, bro. Again, I just seen 27 people shot since last Friday, bro. Wow. This ain't Chicago. 27 people were shot. 11 alone around my presence last Friday. Excuse me, last Saturday night. So, how can you even think about abolishing a police department? What are we supposed to do? I don't want to see people taking up arms, going out handling these things themselves, bro. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy to even think that it would come to that. So we've got to stop talking about abolishing the police department. We can switch resources, get new resources, but let's just be real. It's also incumbent upon us because Black folks stopped voting. We just stopped voting. Right. After President Obama got elected, they kept saying, well, this Black man was going to come in here and save me. Then when after 8 years, they said President Obama did nothing. Bruh, it's because you stopped voting. People stopped voting. Voting, all politics is local.
Absolutely.
It's cool to vote for your president, but you got to get out there and vote for your city council person, for your mayors, for your governors. That's who makes a difference when it comes to changing these laws, hiring these bad police officers, hiring these bad police chiefs, blah, blah, blah. But if you're not, and if you stop voting only because you voted in the 2016 election or the 28 election, you're the problem. We have to be
absolutely, and then we have to tackle
as a Black folks,
and we have to tackle voter suppression, because if we look at what's going on in Kentucky, it was a problem that all of those people were waiting to vote, and they shut the door because they was like, "Oh, the voting closed." But it took them a long time to get apart because they had only like one voting a location for one in a county, only one, and then they cut down early voting. So we have to tackle that as well. And shout out to Ariana Grande, because she had got some food trucks so the people can stay in line and eat. But it's a problem, and this is the reason why I know your vote do count, is because they're going so out of their way to stop you from voting, to suppress you, to deter you. This is the main reason why I say voting does matter. And that's why I love following the organization Black Voters Matters. I love following that organization because we do need to bring more awareness to voter suppression in this country, because it do exist. And it's always targeted towards Black and brown folks. And this is the reason why, if you're
no doubt about it.
Yeah. So I just have to bring that point up. How do you think we can resolve that though? Is it the people? And this is why it's so important to vote in the right Secretary of State, because the Secretary of State is in charge of the voting process. Mm-hmm. So you have to get somebody in there that's going to do good for you. That's going to do good when that's going to be fair and balanced when it comes to the voting. Because they're in charge of ID, license, Social Security.
And it doesn't matter if that Secretary of State is a Democrat or Republican. If that person is not doing the right things to make sure that our community is able to vote, then you need to get rid of those. Listen, I'm a strong, proud Black Democrat. Mm-hmm. But if there's a Democrat that's doing irreparable harm to my community, get his or her ass out of there. I'm not for it. I care more about my community than I do about a party politics. You feel me? So if you got, like you just said, if you got a Secretary of State that's not upholding the law to make sure that we are not getting suppressed, then we need to get rid of that person. Listen, bro, we can go out, we can buy weed, we can buy Jordans, but we can't vote. Negro, please. My vote don't count. My vote don't count. You just said the mouthful that I've been saying forever. If your vote didn't count, why do they go through so much to suppress your vote?
Come on.
Folks, we gotta wake up. Everybody talking about I'm woke. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you're woke, tell me, why do they go through so much to suppress your vote if it doesn't count?
Come on.
Of course your vote. They've been suppressing our vote for hundreds of years. People have to realize that our community, our votes are important. Use it instead of, because I don't protest. I don't physically protest. I protest at the ballot box. I protest in the boardroom. I protest at meetings because I show up, I'm there, I got a loud voice. I might only be 5'4", but I got a big ass voice, okay? And I'm gonna make sure I use it when it comes to helping my community and making sure that these folks, holding these folks accountable, because that's everything though, Marcella, is we elect these folks because we know them. We met, she was fine or she was cute and he was nice, he was friendly. And then when he's elected, we do nothing. Oh, he gonna take care of me. He said he was. No, he's getting $100,000 plus more.
Come on.
And now he's not thinking about you no more. Okay, I don't care. Let me say it again. I don't care if he's a Democrat or she's a Democrat. He or she has gotten that office, got comfortable because you no longer care to make him or her do what they said they were going to do when they were elected. That is on us. So
absolutely. And then we had, it was a gentleman that, my gosh, what's his name? Oh God, Mr. Chambers. He's out in Baton Rouge, and he called out the board. I believe it was the city council board or the school board, or whatever board it was. One of the, I would say, she was shopping while they was having the open discussion, you know, having the public to speak, and he called her out on it. And now all of the media folks, they want to talk to him, but he's been doing this work forever. And he was getting on, he's on the front lines. And he said that it's sad that you finally get media coverage when you finally go viral, but they're not there when you're on the ground. But I follow him on Instagram, and I remember him running for office and how he did not get a big support from the Democratic Party, but he ran, and how they would try to take his signs, rip up his signs. So that's like, that goes on in the political world as well. So it's good for me. They say, why you're not on the front lines? Is because I protest by being media, by having these conversations and bringing awareness, by voting, by donating to different causes. It's not that you vote, you got to be on the front lines and get tear gas to be part of the movement. No, it's different ways to vote. It's different ways to you know what I'm saying? It's different ways to do. Shout out, yeah, his name was Gary Chambers for Baton Rouge, and that was the school board he was talking to. So right. Yeah. So it's different ways to different ways. The
big black man.
Yeah. The big like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I've been following him ever since. No. And I don't think Shaun King is bad, because I found Gary from Shaun King. But I just think some of the things that Shaun King says is problematic and it's dangerous to say, because he have a massive platform. But I don't, you know what I'm saying?
And I've had look. I've had huge disagreements with Shaun King. I too have a podcast, and last year when it was on iHeart, I invited Shaun King on, and to me, Shaun's a bit of a coward, because Shaun talks so much shit and doesn't go on other shows to back it up. For real, Shaun puts things out there on and the social media sphere and doesn't back it up. So I kind of have my own problem with Shaun King. We can agree on some facts that he says, but again, Shaun King is a part of that group that, again, abolished the police, dismantled the police. Bruh, as a black man that I think is biracial, let's keep it real, you've had some privilege in your life. So don't come telling me to what to do when, again, when you're not been fully part of the process, fully part of that struggle. Some people say, well, I'm a black man. Okay, but it's different for different blacks. You know, I can't tell you that I grew up struggling myself. I did not. My parents, I grew up very, very middle class. My mom worked and retired from Honeywell. My dad worked for the largest box maker in the country at Liberty Carton. So I grew up very middle class, bro. So to sit on your show or anybody's show and say, man, I remember mayonnaise sandwiches. Well, I do, but it was because I ate them because I would see my father eating them and being, but we didn't eat them out of necessity. So I don't want to hear somebody that has had privilege or has privilege now telling me what to do in my community when you're not on the front line. And let me say this, like you just said, so I don't mean to contradict myself. You don't necessarily have to be on the front line, because like you just said, and you both just admitted that we're not protesters, so we're not, quote, on the front line. But guess what? During COVID, right now. I have done nothing for the last 17 weeks. I'll be happy to go live right now. When I'm every day since our city got burned down, most of it, we've been feeding, clothing a lot of the either homeless or people that have been, displaced, blah, blah, blah. Every day, every single day since that happened, that's what I've been doing. So I do put my money where my mouth is. And I believe in paying it forward, because you can't sit and throw the remote at the TV yelling if you're not doing nothing for real.
Right. And this is the thing about Shaun King. I love how he bring awareness to certain situations. I agree. But I want that energy with our community as well, to tell people to put the guns down, stop killing your brother, stop killing your sister. And this is the main reason why I'm looking forward to Minister Farrakhan's message on July 4th. A lot of people are criticizing the nation, but the nation was out there passing out items to different folks. But we're going out there on the front lines is dangerous, because COVID, as well as the police, as well as other actors that are taking folks out and camouflaging themselves as being a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Me personally, I think that a lot of white folks are not fed up. I think they were bored. We will see how much of an ally they really are by November and by the elections, by the boardrooms with these companies. We will see if they really for us when it's time to share the wealth with Black America, when it's time to share those spaces with Black, will it be any resistance? So, because Dr. King had white folks supporting him when it was talking about desegregation,
right?
But when it was time for him to talk about write that check, investments into the Black community, he got some resistance, and them big donors stopped donating, because he stopped talking about integration and start talking about the money, investments. So I love to see the white folks with us, but I want to see how long that's going to last, because historically speaking, it don't last long. It lasts for a season.
It does not.
So we shall see by November, because you got to understand, President Trump got 53% of the white women vote. White women voted for over 53%. So just because you screaming your Black Lives Matter, let's see in that ballot box who you really gonna be faithful to and who you really gonna be committed. And that'll let me know by who you support politically, tells me about your character. Now, just because you voted for Trump don't necessarily mean that you are racist. I could look at your income. If you got a big income, if you got a business, maybe so you like it because he's business friendly and you got investments. Me, differently, now I invest in the stock market, so I like it when the stock market go up because I get a return on my investment. Now, if you're a person that don't invest in the stock market, don't do nothing like that, you ain't gonna understand unless you see how it trickle down to your neighborhood. But I realize that happens from the local, state level, about the neighborhood, how clean your streets are. That's your city government right there. So I'm learning who to put the blame to. Trump, I'll give a damn about what he said. I'm looking at his policies.
And so again, so when you're right about that, and when you talk about Trump policies, I talk about how they're not good for Black folks, and they haven't been good for Black folks. And so I was talking about that with my coach on my show on Monday, who is a stark Trump supporter and a Republican. And he was talking about, they're always talking about what Trump has done for Black folks, lowest unemployment for Black folks, the opportunity zone. They talk about the HBCUs. And it's funny because each of those, when you ask them about, showing you proof of how each of these items that they bring up, where are the results at, they go to talk about, oh, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it because you're a Democrat. No, I would. If the numbers say that these things initiatives that he's enacted are helping, absolutely, I would say no, he did, and that happened. But for the HBCUs he's supposed to put in office and the White House, that didn't happen. Since he said he was going to give money to HBCUs, 7 HBCUs have closed since that happened. I think that was last year, going on a year and a half. 7 HBCUs have closed. The opportunity zone has not been fully funded, so those monies aren't reaching into poverty-stricken communities. And when they do, they'll blame a Democratic governor, or they'll blame a Democratic mayor.
So I want to ask you a
governor and
question
mayor
about
both
that
are Democrats.
because
Go ahead.
Amanda King, which she's running for Congress in Georgia, the same district that Congressman John Lewis represents. So she's trying to upseat him. She's trying to. So what is the opportunity zone? What is that exactly? Because I heard that before. I didn't do my research. So what is the opportunity zone about?
The Opportunity Zones was an initiative that the White House passed that's supposed to give federal funds to impoverished-stricken communities.
Mm-hmm.
That let's say that if they meet the federal standard of low population, that I mean underserved, crime, education. If those numbers are low in certain cities and neighborhoods, they're supposed to be able to apply for federal funds, or even not even apply for it. Federal funds are supposed to be given to these cities to improve them. That's what the opportunity zones are. So again, let's just, i.e. Chicago. Mm-hmm. Chicago would be a ripe selection for the opportunity zones. Well, if you listen to the Chicago mayor, what's it, Barefoot. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. But she talked about the opportunity zone. She said she absolutely welcomed the idea of getting federal money in to improve her city because she wanted to obviously slow down the crime. Well, she said so when she opened it, she was open to it. She received the monies. Let's as an example, let's just say they gave her $1 million. Okay, they told her that you get this first $1 million, and then after that you would continue to receive monies so that we could see the crime numbers go down. The homeless numbers go down, blah, 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 blah. Well, they gave her money. They gave her the first set of money. She has yet to receive any other dollars. So
it's crazy.
So you can't.
It's Mayor Lightfoot. Mayor Lightfoot. I don't think she's gonna receive nothing because she cussed the president out. It rhymes with F you. I mean, she cussed. It look like Lightfoot ain't gonna be getting done. The way how she cussed out Trump, I don't think he can stand her. Because she said it rhymes with F and ends with you. She said F you to the president. So it look like she ain't gonna be.
She will get reelected. I tell you that. That's for sure.
Right? Yeah, she gonna get reelected because she old bad cussing the president out.
We gotta hold Trump and his administration responsible for those type of lies that set our community up for failure. You know, when we're thinking that we're going to get help from the federal government to improve our neighborhoods, and we don't. You know, now you gotta protest. Not only protest with your feet, but protest in the ballot box. You got to go out and show. There might be people that aren't crazy about Joe Biden, and I happen to love him, so I'm not one of those people. But there are Democrats that aren't crazy about him. But guess what? The alternative is 4 more years of this.
And this is the thing. I criticize Vice President Joe Biden a lot. But this is the thing. I want him to pick a sister because if you go Angela Shadden, I hope I said her name, Shadden King, but that's him King too. But when she went on the Breakfast Club, and this woman is a conservative, the way how she delivered the points of being a conservative made me a believer, right? But that's why it's so powerful having a black woman as your VP choice because they're intelligent, strong, and they know how to deliver a message. And this is the main reason that could be a secret weapon for Joe Biden because I believe he pick another white person, Trump gonna win. But if he picked that black woman, that will let black folks say, hey, I'm gonna go out and vote because I want to see this sister in the White House. So I just think that's
he's definitely gonna pick a black woman. He knows that. First of all, Carolina sealed that way back when. No doubt, Carolina sealed the fact that he had to hire a black woman as VP because black folks put him over. Period. His campaign was done.
It was done.
No money. And if he hadn't won Carolina, we would be talking about, Trump winning re-election because anybody else that ran against him would just we'd see that Reagan second go around again where we see a large landslide. So it was imperative that he knew he had to pick a sister. And so to me, I've fallen in love with Val Demings lately. I think Val Demings is an incredibly smart sister that he should pick, or Kamala Harris. Yeah, I think one of those two black women he should pick, and I think that's a winning ticket. Furthermore, as a proud, strong Democrat, I would not support an all-white ticket. You have to make Democrats are a diverse party, and you just had a black president and a white vice president. There's no way in the world you can go back to an all-white ticket. You just can't, and you shouldn't, and that's something that I wouldn't support at all.
Absolutely not, and that's why I definitely would believe, because I personally believe if you get a Stacey Abrams, or like you said, Mrs. Demings, because she was a police chief, the first black police chief.
That's right.
And the
first black in Florida. That's right.
Yeah, so that will add the spice to it, because let's be clear. Joe Biden, sometimes when he get to talking, he sound out of touch. His language is so far in the 70s and the 60s. Anytime you talk about a record player, your thought process is in the past. Your thought process is he needs to get somebody that's up to date with the times, right? I don't like it how he's really living up to Obama legacy and his record. They're only going to get you so far, though. But you should. But that's only going to get you so far because Joe Biden got his own record that Trump is going to call him out. To this day, he still didn't apologize for the 1994 crime bill. I believe that is a big problem.
And he shouldn't.
But he should, in this spirit of. No. You don't think he should apologize to the 1990 for writing that and for the tour? I think the language, Joe, of what he was preaching, you don't think he should apologize that it won't be a resistance?
No.
Tell me why.
No. First of all, let me say this. I'm tired of niggas trying to put pressure on these white folks, certain Democrats, to apologize for the crimes bill. Let me tell you why. For one, that's what I'm talking about when black folks stopped voting. I was young, but I absolutely was behind the crimes bill. I know a lot of black folks that in my community, the Congressional Black Caucus, that was absolutely behind the crimes bill. In 1994, Minneapolis had been dubbed Murder-apolis. We were the number one murder city per capita. We had the most murders. That's huge. I lost 2 friends during that time due to gun crime. One was shot in his own home, robbed and shot in his own home. I'm not going to blame President Clinton, Hillary Clinton, or Joe Biden for the misuse of how states misuse that law because they know they can, because black folks stopped voting. The bill says not once, not twice, but the third time you commit a crime, you could possibly go to jail for 10 years plus. That's crazy to me. That we're upset that when the law says the third time you commit a crime, which could be a murder, that you go to jail. Then come on, bro. States did what they want to do with that law. They interpreted it the way they wanted to. That's not on President Clinton. That's not on Hillary Clinton. That's not on Joe Biden. The law was enacted to help because crime in these cities in Chicago, Washington, Minnesota, Baltimore was exploding. Gun violence has exploded, and black folks were losing their lives at a record pace back then. So there needed to be something. But let's keep it real.
I understand that, but his language in delivering it saying to me that he should apologize for some of it. If you are a part of the problem for incarcerating our people, and instead of putting investments in those neighborhoods, you said the answer to drugs is crime, lock them up. The answer to this, lock them up. Instead of saying, hey, let's tackle and see how did the crack get to these neighborhoods, number one. And number two, let's stop bringing it in these neighborhoods. And number three, let's invest in these neighborhoods. I just feel as though that Joe Biden should apologize because he got a very questionable pass. If we give the record, President Trump have a better record dealing with tackling, criminal justice reform than Joe Biden. One of his big pieces will be that crime bill, and President Trump will have the First Step Act, and he let out some black women that will be on the front lines defending President Trump. And mind you, them black women that he have defending him are highly intelligent, and they are definitely going to get a lot of people to take notice. You think so?
No, they won't. No, they won't.
You don't think so?
No.
Check out the Breakfast Club. Did you check out the Breakfast Club?
I don't care about Charlamagne the guy.
But look how Joe Biden did him as a white man, and that black woman that's represent President Trump, Angela, she did good.
Listen, I didn't hear it. I have to listen to it.
You need to see it. It would be way better. She didn't say, if you don't vote for Trump, you ain't black. She didn't get caught up with that. She literally got all three of them together with facts and with her own belief that she's a conservative. Half that stuff she reported my grandma believed in. And they just, and because a lot of Republicans out here, that a lot of African Americans believe in a lot of conservative values when it comes to LGBTQ.
Yes.
When it comes, y'all believe in a lot of things that that those conservative believe in.
Marcellus, that's no doubt about that. Up until 1964, black folks voted conservatively. My grandmother, rest her soul, she just died in December, was a conservative Democrat. Absolutely. She wouldn't disrespect the homosexuals. She just didn't believe in homosexuality.
Come on.
So I absolutely believe that. But here's what I'm saying to you too. The First Step Act to me is shit. And I honestly, I'm tired of folks bringing that up. It took the man over a year to even sign or consider it. That's what bothers me that folks don't look at. Oh, he signed the First Act. He was forced to sign the First Step Act. His son-in-law, because he has an imprisoned father, was the reason why he signed it. If he was so gung-ho about changing the lives of black men, the way that they were treated in the system, right away. Remember that bill sat on was at the end of President Obama's presidency and was sitting right there when it came to Trump. Trump could have signed it right away if he still wanted to end the way black and brown men were treated. He didn't. It wasn't until Jared Kushner forced him to do so. Those two black women that he released. Remember, Kim Kardashian was the reason those women were pardoned. It wasn't Trump saying, "Oh, let's go find a few black women."
But Trump. But again, Kim could be out there as well as some black women attorneys was working with Kim Kardashian too. They did a lot of the groundwork. She was just the face of it. But this is another thing. Yep. It would have never happened if Trump, as the president, the powerful man in the world, signed to get them out, to pardon, to give them a full pardon. But this is what I'm saying. President Trump will take advantage of what he accomplished, because the president will always get, when it's good, they're going to take credit. And when it's bad, they got to take credit of that too. So we have to give credit to President Trump when he needs to be credited on, right? And if he continue to do good for criminal justice, that's a win for President Trump. And Joe Biden, the one that's stumbling over the crime bill, not President Trump. And another thing, President Trump doesn't like to have government-funded abortions. He's against that as well. So Biden believe in that. That's another win, because a lot of black folks in the community don't believe in abortion. So I personally believe that this is going to be a neck-and-neck campaign. It's going to be a neck-and-neck. It's not going to be a whole so far like it's going to be a landslide. I don't believe in that. What I believe in, this is going to be a neck-and-neck, because it's going to be a lot of voter suppression. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff. Then COVID. So it's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. Do you think President Trump is going to lose this election? Why or why not? Do you believe he's going to lose?
No, absolutely, he's going to lose this election. He's going to lose this election because he can't get out of his own way. And black folks, black and brown folks, are tired of them. Let's look at the numbers. I know folks that support Trump say, "Well, we did the same thing in 2016." Hillary Clinton was not running. Hillary Clinton was running. She's not running this time. For whatever reason, people hate that lady. Whatever reason, they hate her. She's not on the ballot box this time. She's not running. You're running against a guy now that posed extremely well with white men. You need to peel some of those white men. I've talked about it so many times on my show about the phantom white voter. That's what I call it, the phantom white voters, because Democrats were always chasing the white male voter to get him back. When now you see you don't even need that vote per se as much. When you have a population of 93% of black women, not black people, black women are voting at a record 93%. That's what's putting Democrats over nationwide. Special elections, all of these elections that happened since Trump has been in office has been black women and black and brown people. He's still not polling higher than 8% with black folks or brown folks because of the things that he says and does. It's okay. He has bad people advising him, along with so does Joe when it comes to trying to explain the crimes bill. He has bad people giving him the explanation, because me, if I'm a consultant, if I'm working with him, I'm telling them we're not explaining the crimes bill. What we're saying is we stand behind the crimes bill. Yes, it would piss some people off, but you have to be truthful and say, listen, when I enacted this bill, when I wrote the bill, it was because crime was exploding, gun violence was exploding across this country. But what has since happened is racist governors, mayors have interpreted that law the way that they want to. So I don't think that he'll have a problem. Carolina showed you that. I don't know in history where there's been a guy, a candidate that has been saved in a primary such as that. I don't remember. I think I love that. Clinton did it in 92, but this was different. Clinton had a little piece of money. Times were different. Joe Biden was absolutely saved by the black community, which is why he will return the favor by selecting a black woman as vice president.
But my question, though,
continuing to have a black agenda.
My question, in this spirit of abolish police, is this wise to defend a crime bill? Because you understand the average voter is just going to hear he wrote this crime to lock up black folks, and Trump is going to use that. And Joe Biden is not really good when he talks. He doesn't give me that type of guy that will say, you know what, I apologize, I should have done some more research. I just think he's stuck in his ways, and he's going to be defensive. And I believe that's just going to be a win for Trump when it comes about his record about criminal justice reform. Trump have a good reason, and he definitely very strategically got black women out of prison. Now, people claim with President Obama, but President Obama visited those prisons in his last term, and he got those people out in his last term. This is the first 4 years of Trump of doing this, of getting black people out. So I personally believe that Donald Trump, and he still got a lot more time to pardon some more people, right? That'll just make him look even great on criminal justice reform. But again, I personally believe Trump got Biden beat. I believe Trump will win if it all depends upon who Biden picks as his VP. If he pick a white person, Trump got it. If he doesn't, it's going to be a close race, and Biden will definitely win. I definitely believe that we will not know the results the day of. I believe it's probably going to be a couple of days after, because it's going to be a lot of voter suppression.
No. Oh, we'll know the night.
Oh, you think we're going to know the night?
Because again, folks are so fed up. Black folks are so fed up with Trump. Brown folks are so fed up with Donald Trump that they are going to vote in droves to get rid of this guy. I have never seen the type of enthusiasm. The 2018 primary was a prime example of how people are going to come out and vote against Donald Trump and Republicans. Donald Trump lost just as many seats in 2018 as President Obama. In fact, more. It was cataclysmic for him, especially during the first term. So they are going to get out and show you that they're tired of Donald Trump, and the way that they're tired of Donald Trump is going to be through voting. They're going to organize. They're going to activate to get rid of Donald Trump. You will see the night of November 3rd, by midnight, we will have a new president, and we'll be talking about what Trump didn't do. Black folks will be talking about how proud we are to have Joe Biden as president than versus this dude. And maybe in 2 years from now, Joe Biden won't even know that he's in the White House. He won't even recognize the White House. He might be so senile and forgetful that he won't know. That's okay. That's why you'll have a sister to take the reins, which would be historic. Let's remember too, 7 million Obama voters didn't show up in 2016. That won't happen because you have a guy that's white, that's blue collar, that he's going to get some of these white men back in that have lost their job due to the tariffs that Trump put on, and things like that. So we got to strategically think about how and why people don't want to vote for Trump. And there are a myriad of reasons, that being the economy being one of them, because there's two different economies. There's the economy for the rich that is doing extremely well, and then there's economy for people like me and you and poor people that aren't seeing anything better than they have 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And then that will be blamed on Trump.
And the last piece of this video that I do want to get into your thoughts on this, it was a new study that was out about Uber and Lyft, that they charge higher rates to customers for trips to non-white neighborhoods. They were saying that their data set comprised more than 100 million trips from November 2018 to December 2019, with 68 million of them being made by individual riders. As they see doing this report, that over 40% of that was over high rates because they were visiting a non-white neighborhood.
Wow.
So it is so that'll let you know that we are yet still dealing with some issues that do need to be trickled down. I even had a case where if they knew they was picking up for Inglewood, I would get rides canceled on me, just like, well, you at? They would cancel the ride because they did not want to go in that neighborhood. But it's just a lot of stuff that's going on in this world. But what I will tell people though, because that's like how you spoke up and how you put it in. I would love to see a Kamala Harris or a Stacey Abrams, or because the reason why I say Kamala Harris, because her record as a senator, because she's not just Kamala Harris, she's Senator Kamala Harris, right? Her record is incredible. It's credible. Now, her record as a prosecutor is questionable, but her updated record as a senator is on point. Like, she is literally doing a great job. Stacey Abrams is another one because she almost flipped Georgia from red to blue, but of course, Secretary, the Kemp, he purged so many people off the voter roll, so she pretty much was robbed.
Suppression, exactly.
You understand?
Correct.
That's another woman that is very relatable. Especially Stacey Abrams will be a secret weapon. She's relatable. The South know her, especially in Georgia. And she will definitely flip Georgia from red to blue. And that could be good for Biden, because Biden still, he needs somebody like a Stacey Abrams. She's very relatable and Black women love her. And she's growing nationally, as well as Kamala Harris is getting more now. In your, who else did you just say? Miss, because she was on The View. Oh my God.
Val Demings.
Miss Demings. Congresswoman Demings was on. She was on The View, and the way how she was speaking, they asked her, would you like to be vice president, to be the running mate? She said, yes, I'll be ready to serve. And the way how she answered those questions was incredible, because she knew the piece about policing. She knew what to work on. She explained about defunding the police. And, so it's like she really spoke so well and highly of Biden policies, and she was able to explain it into us that the average voter would be able to understand it. She did not stumble over her words. Biden, sometimes he stumbles. Sometimes he get in his feelings, especially if you say something that he don't like, that you disagree with. He gets in that manness, that white male ego takes over him sometimes, Now,
listen, I think that he's kind of no different from Trump. Trump doesn't like to be. I haven't seen Joe as angry, asking questions as I have Trump. But here again, I think that what's important is the fact that Biden has the ear of the right voters, and that's Black and brown people. And the majority of those folks more than a majority of those folks that want to see change. People don't trust Donald Trump. People don't like the things that he does. Again, his policies aren't geared towards Black folks. So they don't help us. So I think that come November, folks, well, for hell, folks have got their mind made up already now. You know, those, you'll notice it'll be white folks that'll tell you, well, I'm kind of undecided. Well, really? Now you still undecided? Well, sit your ass down. So that's how anybody can be. I mean,
You know, folks always say that they undecided. No, you just get a pen and a pick. I learned this off Medea. Get a pen and a piece of paper and write down your top 10 things that you want to have done in your community, your life. And if the candidate matches with them top 10, then vote for that person. You know what I'm saying? So get a list and find a candidate that align with your top 10 issues.
If neither Trump or Biden, I'm saying this to our people, if neither Trump nor Biden has a black agenda that suits you, then maybe you shouldn't vote for any of them.
Come on.
All candidates, black, white, pink, and purple, should have a black agenda, a real black agenda, not just those words, but should have a real black agenda. And if they don't, we should not trust them, because we know what they'll do. So what's important to me is I want to hear candidates talk about what will they do for black folks and how will it be implemented. And then more than that talk is, again, how do you go about making sure that what you're saying gets done to positively affect the lives of black people? If we're not hearing that, then we shouldn't consider any candidate.
I 100% believe in that. Man, we talked for a whole hour. I think that was needed of us having this conversation. How can people get more about you? Because you does a lot. Like, you are I believe that you does a lot in the political world. I can't wait till I run for office. You definitely need to be on my team and stuff, because I need to run in Texas. It's time to chocolate. I need to chocolate up in Texas, because Texas needs some more chocolate.
That's true.
We need some more. We need some more common sense folks in Texas. And don't get me wrong, I love Texas. But I understand the system here is an outdated system, and I'm not drinking that juice of that they be providing. It's time for me to bring my own juice and to bring a style that I think is needed in Texas politics. So because I do feel like even in Dallas they have a lot of corruption here anywhere you go. But when I came to Dallas, I'm like, whoa, all these people, they don't mind taking campaign fund for their own personal gain. I come from Illinois. They have their own corruption there, but I definitely want to have a good time by running for at least for Congress or state representative or whatever God has in store for me. But I definitely will be running for office, because in order for change, I would love to be the one to make the change, right? Yeah, so I need so y'all
change that you want to see. Absolutely.
Come on.
I will fully support you and do whatever I can to make sure that you win. And this conversation was needed, and it takes people like you and me and other black folks, black media outlets, to give our people the truth, to have a platform where our people can come and listen to folks that look like us, sound like us, to decide how they should vote or decide different decisions that they should make. I'm Jamar Bernard on Facebook. You can follow my podcast is Black Republican, Black Democrat. Black Republican, Black Democrat. You can find it on M as in Michael, BC Multicast Studios. You can just look that up and you'll see my show. I'm extremely politically active, so most of the stuff that I do is, well, not most, because I don't need the limelight and the spotlight. So a lot of things that I do, I again, we talked about it today, but I don't post about it because I don't,
Well, I recorded your appearance. You was on Don Lemon about 2 weeks ago, correct? You was on Don Lemon. I said, look at my friend on Don Lemon. Yeah. I said you were suited and booted.
Yes, I was. Thank you. Yeah, I was. I do say that kind of clean when I get on TV. Yeah.
So I want you to keep that same energy when you come on the Wiley Show. I want you to be suited and booted.
I will be on Dayline NBC in 2 weeks, because we're still dealing with stuff from George Floyd. So you'll see me again, just real nice.
Yes.
On Dayline NBC next Friday.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
60 Minutes, I think, will be on in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait. Because I love
Appreciate you, bro.
the fact that you out here doing a good job, man. Thank you so much for coming on the Wiley Show.
I appreciate you, man.
All
I appreciate you, man. I love it, man. And keep up the good work, bro.
Will do. All right, y'all. This was a lit show. Oh, wow. I want to thank y'all. Yeah, I was supposed to come back for another video, but since I'm on this meds, you guys, the phone lines is open if anybody want to call in. I'm doing YouTube coming up on here. And I really I was in pain yesterday, so I said, let me go take a nap. Baby, when I tell you I woke up at 1 something in the morning, I woke up at 1 something in the morning, and then I had this dream that I was wealthy. I don't know what this dream meant, but I was wealthy, and somebody on my team, I think she was a friend of mine, or I think she was my wife friend, or whatever. I said, what do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do, and I invest in what she wanted. But I had a dream that I was wealthy. I don't know what it meant. That I came up about house shot top and a lot of money. I'm like, what is this dream about? I don't know what's going on with this apraxia, but this apraxia be having me dreaming. I don't know if it does something to the brain or whatever, but I was dreaming, and I'm like, what the world this dream meant? It's like I dreamed I had a lot of money. So I woke up to look at my bank account. I was like, oh, let me see. No, it wasn't what I thought. I thought it was, because you had these dreams that you wealthy. So I said, let me look at my bank account. Oh my God. What are you doing? See, this is the reason why you have to come through, because it be a lot of stuff be going on. And another thing I want to tell y'all, God is so good to me. I think Armin Brown probably she's at work, but she was singing this song, Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Mm-hmm. Don't do it without me. Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. When she saw that song, I said, you better go ahead. Oh, Lord. Now, bye. When I heard her sing that was what I needed to hear. If you healing the scene, don't do it without me. I really needed to hear that bracket because I was feeling low in my spirit, right? I was feeling low in my spirit. I really needed to hear that record. And I said, Lord, that she's saying that because I need to hear that. And you just never know what needs to be done. That's I tell people to do a channel. We need more good people and everything like that. So I'm so glad. Shout out to her because she's doing amazing things over there. So make sure y'all subscribe to her YouTube channel. All you got to do is just type in her name, and you can just follow her on IG and on YouTube because I love that. And I can't wait. We got a show planned for you guys pretty soon, and that's gonna be nice. It's gonna be, I'm in Brown, and it's gonna be B Scales and myself. And then others, we're gonna talk about finances. So I can't wait to talk about that because she was telling me some stuff how to do so I ain't gonna get into it now. Y'all will get to it when we had that show. Hey, Nurse Nicole, I see y'all in the building. But me and we talked about D.L. Hughley that Breonna is around. And long story short, he came out and said he had it. Now, of course, you had Tasha K saying that that they only saying that for black folks to stay at home. No, that Rona is real. It ain't no conspiracy because I work in that environment and everything like that. But I need all of you guys to really I am following Angela King on her Twitter, and I really want to interview her. I think you all did very well because Chris Stokes responded back to us. So it is working with y'all. I want to give a special shout out to the young man that's on OnlyFans. He reached out to us. He want to come. So a lot of folks have been reaching out to the Wiley Show, but thanks to you all, Final Draft, another group that you all did. You all reached out to them, and Final Draft, we got in contact with them, possibly trying to get them on the show. So I thank you all for taking heed to our call to action. You all are there. And for us to have, even though he responded with some lies, and I went on and said, oh, you're good. You know, I do respect his way as a producer, but I don't respect you touching on boys and stuff against their will, because then I heard a recording, and see, this is the main reason why I put that out there, because I had got 3 messages. One of them, they said, "Why do you need to hear this recording?" And you hear Chris Stokes say, "Hey, I don't do this no more." Like, what do you mean you don't do no more? So you don't abuse people no more? You might. I said, what? So I feel like that's just so wrong and dirty and sad, but that's a problem in the community, and that goes on with men taking advantage of little boys, and you don't really hear that because they are ashamed of coming out, especially when you get older. You're ashamed to say something. Look at what happened when Rasby spoke up. And I'm hearing that J-Bug, or is it J-Bug? He was touched. Marcus Hughes allegedly was touched, and all of those people. And a lot of them don't want to come out. And I think when Rasby came out, they label him crazy, mentally ill. He started to lose his mind, because when folks don't believe you, you will go crazy. But that do exist in our community, where we have to take, and that's still going on. Because I know a lot of people in the community that have fallen victim to somebody that was older than them and took advantage of them because they open up their room or they give you food and all that type of stuff. So I understand, I get it. But another thing I want to say is that I'm going to entertain you all every single day as long as I got breath in my body. I want to thank my producers. Y'all been sending me different organizations to apply to. Y'all know who y'all are. Thank you to Love Me For Me. Sister been just everything I need. Sister be giving me all type. Let me see what's in here. These are some socks. Is these socks? Look at that. Socks. All type of stuff. Like, blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. Like, I thank God for that. Everybody that needs to be exposed to that. And it's just not good, because when we sent him a message, she said, it's all lie. Because I said, I look up to you, blah, blah, blah. Because, you got to lie to get people to respond to you. You can't go up in there talking about rebuke. You ain't going to get nobody to respond to you. You got to know how to lie. That's one thing I know how to do, with lie and catfish. So I catfish to pretend like I was a fan, just to hear his on the record. He said it's all lies. That's what he said. People on Patreon, y'all got the tea already. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Who was that guy that was just on the phone with you?
Yeah, that guy. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Because he go by different name. Hold on 1 second, sister. Because he's my Facebook friend. Oh, you talking about Jamar Bernard?
Okay, we don't need him no more.
Why you don't need him?
Leave Jamar. His rhetoric did not make any sense. A lot of the stuff that he was saying did not make any sense.
Uh-huh.
The defunding of the police needs to happen so that funds can be redirected into minorities and lower income communities.
Okay.
That's number one. That needs to happen.
He said he don't believe in abolishing the police. That's what he said. He said he don't believe in abolishing police. He said
he doesn't believe in abolishing the police or defunding the police. Okay?
But then he continued to say he's to put some funds in different neighborhoods, because he talked about how much money, and he kept saying, then he said it's okay to put money in different areas too. He did say that, because he talked about the budget of it too.
Right, but the whole thing that's going on right now, where you have certain states and certain cities that is talking about defunding the police, they're talking about removing funds, millions of dollars of funds from the police budget to redirect those funds into the lower income communities to help build up those communities, to, create a system in place for those communities so that there's not as much crime and as much things. As much as a lot of people do not want defunding the police, I don't believe in completely abolishing the police. However, I do believe in defunding the police. For instance, if the police pull you over for a traffic violation, there's not just one police. You have multiple police that come to a scene. Instead of the police sitting in their office trying to figure out the crimes that they already have or they already been tasked with, okay? Because we have a lot of unsolved murders. We have a lot of rapists that unsolved rapes. We have a lot of abuse, a whole bunch of other things that they can be sitting in the office trying to figure out, trying to solve, opposed to trying to just roam the streets looking for somebody to arrest. Police harass a lot of people and minorities in lower income communities. Okay, you do not see police necessarily patrolling other communities. You mainly see police in the lower income communities. They're just sitting there in their cars waiting for something to occur or waiting for somebody.
But not in every case. In Chicago, it's a lot of crime in Chicago. The issue is we need to reallocate money to different departments, as well as the police should not be responsible for mentally ill, someone that's addicted to drugs. You should have other resources to help with that. So I agree with that. I am totally against abolishing the police because we're not there yet. We have to tackle issues. Now, once you reallocate to different departments and take some of the burden off police, then you won't have to put so much money into getting more police officers. Then you will have folks say, instead of becoming a police officer, I become a mental health counselor. I become a drug counselor. We need to be able to get some of the burden and some of the responsibilities off the police. I believe they're doing too much. They should not be, if kids miss a school, they got to be in charge of that. It needs to be a department for that. For kids that are being late or not going to school, another department needs to be focused on that. And if you're having a mental breakdown, a counselor, a mental health expert needs to be on the grounds instead of the police with a taser and a gun.
Exactly, because there was a situation that happened. I don't know if it was in Florida or somewhere that I read where the school had essentially, there was a kid, she may have been about 5 or 6 years old. She was throwing a tantrum. The teacher did not know how to deal with her throwing the tantrum. Don't you know the police came and put this child in handcuffs?
I was 6 years old, exactly.
And he got fired for doing that. But this is the issue. They don't have real work to do. There should have been a counselor. Why wasn't this child essentially directed to the counselor's office? Why wasn't the school able to control this child? Why wasn't the school able to contact the parent? Why did they have to contact the police? People contact the police for senseless things.
Right, and the school should have been notified too. Yeah.
Just like, for instance, the George Floyd situation. You don't call the police because somebody used what you thought was a counterfeit $20. Why is even the police responding to something that is considered a counterfeit $20? Why did that situation even have to escalate? Why did it take for all of those officers to come to the scene for a supposedly suspected counterfeit $20? This is what I mean. Like, they're getting paid all of this money to respond to these low-level supposed crimes opposed to major crimes where they need to be more resourceful. We need them in more resourceful areas for major crimes, for murders. We need them for rape, because you have a lot of rapists, child rapists that's out on the street that don't even get the time of somebody that steals or rob a bank. A person that have not committed a violent crime, like for instance, if somebody go and break in and steal some jewelry, right? They're getting 30 and 40 years in jail. But then you have somebody that has raped a child. Like there was another incident where this mother had left her child at a daycare, and the wife, the husband was essentially raping the kid. Don't you know the prosecutors did not pick up the case because they felt like the kid was not in a position to testify? So why does the kid need to be in a position to testify if you have evidence that this child was raped?
Right, and that's why
it's freely on the street. So you have rapists walking around freely while you have people that is stealing clothes or stealing jewelry, that's doing materialistic things, non-violent things, that is spending the rest of their lives in jail. This is what I'm saying. The whole system needs to be torn down, rebuilt, restructured. Like, people should get time for the actual crime.
Absolutely, and I agree. I agree. You're right, and that's why, sister, that's why I agree with reallocating funds, and that comes with the city budget, We need to hold the politicians accountable and say, hey, instead of giving the police department $300 million, give them $150 million and give the rest to other departments because it's needed. I believe mental health have been neglected so for decades. A lot of people didn't believe that mental illness is real. We know it is real because I'm a living witness that it's real. So we need to put more into those departments so we can hire professionals to handle that because it's a lot of mental. And then too, invest more into all these empty buildings that could be utilized to employ our people, to employ folks. You know, folks need jobs. They need not just jobs, they need good paying jobs with a pension, with a phone, okay, it's with good health insurance. Because if you give more jobs, even in Flint, Michigan, if you bring back those good jobs, crime goes down, period. Because you won't have the energy to do the crime, you'll be too busy working.
Right. And see, and then here's another thing, right? So for people that is spending time in jail, don't you know these jails, these prisons are turning these people crazy? Like they could be in jail for them. Like for instance, the police Browder documentary. I don't know if you ever looked at that documentary on Netflix that Jay-Z did and Obama was speaking on the police Browder. This guy was 16 years old. Okay, 16 years old. Somebody accused him of breaking in the store a week prior, right? So the cousin said, oh, I think that's the guy that did this or tried to rob my cousin a week ago, right? Police pulled him in. This was in New York. Police pulled him in, okay? And then this kid ended up sitting in jail because he refused to admit to a crime that he did not do. I think his bond was like $300. The mom didn't have the money at the time. The father didn't want to give the money, right? So then when the mom got the money, the judge denied his bond. He sat on Rikers Island for almost 4 years for a crime that he did not commit. Mind you, the guy that accused him of robbing him or stealing had already fled back to Mexico. The prosecutors never said anything. They had this guy sitting in Rikers Island for almost 4 years being tortured. He sat in solitary confinement he did more time in solitary confinement than he was in an actual cell with, in general population with other inmates. And when he was in general population, they beat him. The guards let him get beaten. He tried to hang himself. And I'm talking about he went in at 16 years old. He was so messed up, okay, because there's no real rehabilitation in jail. He sat in jail waiting for his trial, and his trial just kept getting the verdict, getting the verdict, okay? All because his mom didn't have $300 at the time where he had a bond that was presented. And then the judge denied bond for a crime that he did not commit. He got out and he just could not shake that. You understand? He was so traumatized from that and so psychologically messed up behind that he ended up hanging himself. And I think he had went on Rosie O'Donnell. It was a whole huge documentary. This is what this jail and this prison system is doing. It's not doing anything to really rehabilitate people or really help people. They're not even really trying to find out the person really did it. You have a lot of people sitting, just like a police Browder, in jail for crimes that they did not commit and going crazy and being victims of a system for essentially being Black. This is why that whole thing needs to be stripped, defunded, and restructured. And then if you look at the documentary, a lot of those correctional officers in there was crooked. They essentially ran the gang inside the prison. So here's my thing, what I don't understand about the whole police and the law and order, okay? Law and order, police are supposed to protect and serve, and they're supposed to hold civilians up to a certain standard, right? So meaning that we have to follow these specific guidelines of law, right? Now, the same people that is enforcing this law and order are not abiding by these same laws that they're enforcing on us. Police are the biggest drug dealers. Then you have crooked people in the facilities, okay? Because how do you get drugs? How do you get guns? How do you get drugs, phones, and all of this stuff inside of the jail? And these people are paying these correctional officers and all this. How do you get all of this type of stuff inside jail, inside prison? They have drugs in prison, like they selling drugs in prison.
Yeah.
So the police is the biggest gang. These correctional officers, they running these prisons like business. You know how much money they make off of having people locked up in cages. This is modern day slavery. There's no real rehabilitation. It's just slavery. They have people in prison working pennies on a dollar.
Well, also too, and this is come with. That's why your state. That's because state oversee the prisons, right? If it's a state prison versus a federal prison. So I personally believe that we have to put resources in there. It needs to be more like if you're in prison, mandatory to get your degree, to get your GED. Arts and craft courses, let it be that we're going to rehabilitate you. So when you leave out of prison, you leave with your bachelor's or with your master's or with your PhD. Certain places got it like that. Certain places are actually utilizing it. I don't know if you remember, it's another documentary on Netflix with this prison that have college courses, and they had a debate team. The debate team was so good that it actually beat the Harvard debate team. So that'll let you know that it is certain people that are implementing these policies, but that needs to be a policy or a program in every single jail and prison.
There needs to be, and there
Absolutely.
needs to be people to oversee these state and federal prisons, because there's no reason why these people should be getting raped by guards. They should be getting raped by other inmates. There's no reason. Like they lock people up for crimes, but then they're committing crimes right inside the same cells that that they locking people up for. And then the people that they have to facilitate and to watch over them are participating in the crime.
Facts.
So what is the purpose? What is the purpose? They're not rehabilitating people. They're making people worse. So when they come out on the street, they're 10 times worse than what they were when they actually went in there.
Facts. I agree with you, sister. You're right. You hit it on the head about that.
Like, backwards. It's not a functional system. Like they're getting paid these millions and billions of dollars. Like if you look at from like the 13th Amendment that's on Netflix, we went from slavery, we went to building up prisons, and we went to essentially funding the police, and we made all of this bigger. So now more prisons, more people in prison, more politicians, more police, more everything. When does it stop?
Right. It's never going to stop until you, sister. I think you need to run for office. I know because yeah, we
if people can get locked up for minute crimes and then they don't even have evidence, okay? Because there's a lot of people, like for instance, the young guy that in Kansas, okay? He college. He met a girl at a bar. Neither one of them had any business being at the bar. The girl was 17. She didn't get carded. He was 20. He used his friend ID. Okay, and that's how he ended up being in the bar. The girl was white. He black. Okay, mind you, they were dancing together on the dance floor. They met somehow inside the bar. He met her for the first time or whatever. They're dancing. They left from the bar, went down the street to his dorm or his house, maybe 5 minutes away, came right back. The next day or 2 days later, the girl accused him of being of rape. Okay, they did a rape kit. She was never assaulted. They found no DNA. The only thing they found was saliva on her neck, and they were kissing on video inside of the bar. Don't you know this guy is in jail for 12 years? He was tried by all white jury. They didn't have no evidence, no DNA, they had nothing. His first offense, he's serving 12 years right now. I have an issue with that. I have an issue with people being locked up for crimes that is not even founded or proven. I have an issue with women being able to say somebody did something to them and then there's no evidence to support that, but the men get locked up. It's like the system is designed to keep the black man locked up.
I agree with you on that. That's why but that's why when you're preaching we need to be more involved in the process. And us as taxpayers have to show up to those meetings and making sure that we're doing our job as a human, right? Because a lot of times when it comes to policing, the community needs to be more involved. And this is why I love when you have those community advisory boards that have power to oversee the police. The police need to have somebody over them policing the police. And when it comes to prisons, I do believe I would love to have that they fund fund programs where folks can get an education. Even women now, I love the fact how they put into place that you can no longer chain a woman to a bed while giving birth. And I'm like, that never was the rule like that. So it used to be where women can be chained to the bed while giving birth. So it's like, woo, it's a lot that do need to be changed in this country.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I say the system is designed to keep us down. Just like somebody in your comments, jury duty. How often do you get called out to jury duty? Like if you go inside of a courtroom, right? You go inside of a courtroom, look around you. How many people is in there that look like you that's not changed?
Come on, that's true.
Your prosecutors, your judge, your defense attorney, everybody. How many people in there that look like you? What do your jury pool look like? What is the makeup of your jury pool? So what I'm saying is that crime, certain things that apply to us doesn't apply to everybody. The system is designed to keep us locked up, to keep us enslaved, because that's basically what it is. It's just modern day slavery. They're still getting rich off of us. They're still paying us pennies on a dollar to do their work. That's why they're keeping us locked up, and they're keeping the men away from the home and the household. And like I just said, a lot of times for minute things, and for a lot of times for things that is unproven or founded, and people are sitting there, they accept time because they tell you, okay, you can either take this and just say that you did this and we're going to give you 5 years, or you can go to trial and we're going to give you 30 years. And you could have probably not even committed the crime, but because the color of your skin, you don't trust yourself enough, because you don't trust that jury pool, you don't trust that public defender or whatever the case may be, because they know if you are not financially well off, you're going to either plead out or you're going to go to trial, and you're still going to get taxed with time.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that.
So there's a lot, but like I said, the system is just designed for failure. And so for me, I feel like they need to defund the police. I feel like they need to restructure, rebuild just the whole judicial system, just the whole system. They need to restructure laws. They need to make whatever applies for a crime for one thing, it applies regardless of your race, regardless of your color, your skin color. Like if me and you go and we steal out of a store, or me and whoever, and you white and I'm black, we should get the same time. I shouldn't get something different because of the color of my skin, and you get essentially be home on probation.
I feel you on that. And thank you, sister, for because you're bringing up points. The system do need to be changed. Your solutions is, because I'm listening to you, you said they need to put money in other departments. I agree with you. And that's why we have to continue to have that message. Now, I don't agree with abolishing the police, but if you invest in the communities really well, where schools are good, investments are good, people are working, you won't need as much policing. So it will abolish itself by the good investments that we have in the community. So, but that's going to have to start on the state, local level, and federal.
What do the police do for you?
I think that the police, though, because if you have a burglary, if someone breaks into your home, if someone comes to your home, you're gonna call 911. Let's just be real here. I usually in emergency cases, right? You're gonna use, if you're in a car accident, you're gonna call the police. So let's be clear here. The police is needed in certain situations.
Okay, I'm not saying that, but if you go look at the percentage of crimes and versus what police are essentially out there doing, they're more so pulling people over, giving people tickets. They're more so policing communities looking for crime. I'm not saying that you call. What I'm saying is police should be responding to things if you call. But for the most part, they're out there looking for something to pull you over for. They're out there looking for a reason to stop you. Not that you picked up the phone and you called the police. I feel like a police should respond. If you call the police and you said, hey, look, somebody tried to break into my house. Or, hey, look, this person just assaulted me. Or, hey, look, this, that, and the other. Yes, I feel like they should respond if you call. But as far as them just sitting out there in the street, waiting for something to happen or waiting for a reason to pull you over because they feel like you're a suspect or you look suspicious or they want to check you or whatever. Like, how many times people get pulled over just for being black?
A lot. I agree with you.
Exactly. So why do you need those officers pulling people over just for the color of their skin?
Okay.
Why aren't they sitting in the office trying to figure out crimes that they already have on the book? Because how many percentage of those crimes that has happened have they solved?
Well, I believe.
So if the job is to protect and stuff, like how much crime have they actually solved? So yeah, you're talking about murders and stuff. How many murders have they solved?
I feel you.
So it's a lot of things that goes into that. Nika at night, she did a story last night where there was something happening, I think in Missouri or something like that, where the community had reached out to the police. Police are not responding. The community reached out to the police for missing girls, okay? The police never wanted to respond to that. So the community got together and went to go search for these missing girls. It's a whole thing. People was going live, a whole thing. They found two of the missing girls, two of the missing kids or whatever in the house. The police, what they did was, I think the community went and set that house on fire. But what the police did was they went and barricaded the house to protect the house for the traffickers. And somehow they snuck the traffickers out the back door. That's the whole thing. If you go on her channel and you see, and she refers you to the different pages where you can find these lives and stuff like that. So what happens with that? They're not protecting our girls. A lot of our girls are getting trafficked and sex trafficking. A lot of the police are in on it. They pay for prostitution. These police are pulling people over and want people to suck on their peen and do all type of stuff. Like I said, they're the biggest crooks and they can get away with it because they have a badge and a gun. They probably commit more crime than the people themselves.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ma'am. I'm going to go and get my closing remarks. You said it. We got to do more when it comes to that, sister. Thank you. I was on Instagram today, and here I am promoting Erica Banks. And let me put a picture on the screen. Put a picture on the screen. Put a picture on the screen. So I'm promoting Erica Banks, and I get a message on my Instagram. Let me read it. Okay. I went on my Instagram, minding my own business. I didn't tag anybody. And somebody said, stop copying everything Ahmad does. You're not going to get reposted to cloud. I don't need her to repost it, first and foremost. And I did not do this because somebody else did it. I did it because I listened to her music, number one. And number two, I always repost things on my page, on my Instagram page. So for you to make that disgusting comment that I'm copying off somebody, if I'm copying, I will tell you I copy. But I always post segments of my show, okay? Always. They ain't gonna never change. I've started the voice notes. I got that from Millie from my radio. So a lot of things that I will borrow to make sure everybody does it. CNN borrow some things, MSNBC borrow some things, Fox News borrow some things. So when I, as a black man, borrow, you want me to sit around and cry? No, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. I do what I want to do because it's the Wiley Show. Last time I checked. So if I want to sit and copy, I'll sit and copy and make me no different. A lot of folks in the industry copy. And they became millionaires. So let me make sure for you to know what show you listening to, okay? Because I can't copy this high.
Exclusive. That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
Okay. All day the blogs they be posting the same ish, but yet I get judged. Sorry, then you ain't gonna make me choke. Cause I remember when I'm going to continue to do what I'm going to do. And if you don't like it, tell him, don't mention me. I'm going to keep mentioning the people that's popping, and my show going to continue to grow. Every time you mention his name, I'm going to sit here and say what I got to say. Last time I checked, this is the Wiley Show. Last time I checked. Then we going to get somebody that I used to sponsor with. They want to send me a friend request on Facebook. So we inboxing. Now, this particular person that we've been sponsoring, she have her own hair salon in Houston, Texas. She said, oh, you scared me. No, honey, now you want to creep back over here at the Wiley Show because you went over there and it didn't work. Now you want to creep back over here at the Wiley Show because you went on the other side. They didn't honor you. Now you want to come on back. But no, in order for you to come back at the Wiley Show, you got to come on this phone last and we got to have a conversation publicly. You said, oh, I never ripped you off, ma'am. Every time that we promoted your hair salon, every time we promoted you well. It ain't my fault that none of my artists want to come and none of my supporters want to come to your hair salon because you always in some mess. They want to come to a hair salon, not a mess salon. Okay? You did a whole series surviving Wiley as a moderator. Nobody checked out that boring, stinking series you tried to get out of your dirty drawers. You did that. You rushed and went to somebody else because you thought it was something popping. Let me get Miss Erica off the screen because they might think I'm talking about Miss Erica. They might think I'm talking about, I ain't talking about you, Erica Banks. I love your song. Bust it. And you, okay, let me go over there. You the one that went on into a campaign and you went, I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew you was going to be creeping right back over here at the Wiley Show. You on my Facebook. I added you as a friend. I'm in your DMs. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Oh, you Mr. Ripper. I didn't rip you off, ma'am. You the one that give folks to be promoting your business, but yet you being everybody's business being messy. Ain't nobody going to come and check for you and they can see you on YouTube for free. Ain't nobody gonna come to your hair salon. Everything you talk about is mess. You ain't talking about perming, curls, pressing, whatever. You ain't talking about that. You're talking about mess. The last time you came, you went and creeped on somebody's mess when somebody tried to label me a predator, and you were right over there defending that. And you're gonna call me a ripper. You can't be trusted. I don't give a damn how old you are. You are messy, and you might as well be real about it. You are a messy woman. This is the reason why you're single. This is the reason why you have no husband, because you always in mess. Whoever marry you, they gonna be in all that mess for what you say out of your mouth. The Mess Salon. Change the name to Mess Salon. Come visit me in South Houston because I'm messy. Just be honest. And then you play this card that I'm a senior. Yes, you are a senior citizen, but you don't act like you act messy. It means when you were younger, my age, you were in mess. Only difference is you got gray hair, you gotten older. You always in mess. It never fails. You jump, and do you fund folks to be messy. If things don't go your way, you turn against them. Now we are still here on the Wiley Show, greater and better, stronger, and now you want to creep on and come back. You come back, but you're going to pay. You're going to have to reach down in your pocketbook. You got to reach down in your pocketbook, and then we'll come back and promote you. Ain't no problem. We love having money over here. Shout out. I'm not in love with money, but I love having money. It's a difference. Nobody scammed you. You did something that you rushed on that other, and I knew it wasn't going to work. You rushed to go on the other side, and it didn't work for you. How is it? You rushed to go somewhere else. And every time it's a mess. One thing about VS, she tried to warn me about you. She did. She tried to warn me about you. She said she can't be trusted. And I've been so just respectable. You roasted me, gagging me, lying, just in cahoots with these people. But I remember that I have done nothing but love for you. And I supported you to this day. And I still will support you. If you donate, I'll be back here. Hey, go visit the Mess Salon where you get real messy. I don't care if you're old or young. Come, bring your crutches, bring your wheelchairs, and be messy. Yes, I'm here. And I'm like, what the world? My producer said somebody that's on your Facebook. I'm like, what the world you on my Facebook for? Why are you on my basically, if I ripped you off, why do you want to add a rip off or as a friend? What, you want to contact my mama like the rest of them? Well, contact her and watch how she cuss you out. Because if you think about go and contact my mama and get up on the phone. Get up. I hope and pray that she's real drunk and she just cuss you out. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. We did exactly where we promoted verbatim. She did not get the support that she wanted. I have no reason. Go to Tasha K. Let who else? That white makeup artist, Jeffree Star. Go to people that's into the business that you talk about. I don't talk about hair. I can't even keep my landing straight. I gotta go strict bald. Okay? If somebody cash out me the money, I go strict bald because this is gonna come out. I'm just gonna have a bald head. So go where people is talking about what you're promoting. It ain't good to go to the beef sector talking about a hair salon. No, they don't know nothing about no hair salon. The only thing they know about is doxing, putting it up to people churches. So you need to be in a beauty sector. But no, you like this sector because you're messy. A couple of folks that way. They give money just to be messy. And I take the money all day. But when you want to get up out of this show to try to be messing with me, I will rebuke you openly and publicly. And let that be a part of the series the day that you got rebuked. Because I ain't saying no names, or a hit dog will holler. The empty wagon make the most noise. That's what my grandmother used to say. And then you want to creep on back to my Facebook. Why? I'm a ripper. If I ripped you off, why do you want to add me on Facebook? Why they do that at? Why? I'm in this beautiful place. Look how beautiful it is. I don't look at it. I gotta be a piano. Y'all see my piano? I'll be back there. I'm gonna have to Airbnb my place. It look kind of good. Okay. And I'm like, let's have a conversation. Wiley, did those people get trying to fill that salon and they were fighting against it? I don't know. I would love to get an update on them folks fighting in that salon, because if y'all, thank you for that. And it was a video that they literally drugged the lady by her hair, pulled out her hair, beat the lady up in this salon, all because the lady did not have the money to pay for all them people that did that need to get arrested and charged. And that lady need to get her Johnson & Johnson legal service or get on Nesbitt's legal shield and fire, and sue them, because it was not cool to go and drag that woman and beat that woman up in that salon. And it's on camera. So whoever did that, I hope and pray that she get every dime that she owns that salon. Now, maybe she was wrong for not paying, but y'all were wrong for putting y'all hands on her. That's when you take things to civil court. But they took justice in their own hands, and they'll probably lose that salon. They need to lose their business license, need to be revoked, and they need to sign that salon over to somebody else. You always want to come back to the house. And they always want to come back to the house. Why? Because it's going to get bored out there. Because I'm the only one going to pay you attention. I'm the only one probably get on the phone and talk to people for hours. The rest of the people, you ain't going to get in contact with them like that. They ain't going to talk to you like that. One person, when I was over there, I can hardly talk to him like that. Well, why? Yeah, you can, but that's going to stop. Because some of y'all talk too much to you. This is the worst. Look like the ones that I talk to the most, be the most thorn in my flesh. You got to start paying me. Next is going to be a new rule. If you need some advice, you got to pay for it. Okay? Unless we already talk. If we already talk, we good. You already, you've been grandfathered in the policy. You've been grandfathered in. But all new people that want to talk to me forever, all the people that want to talk to me forever, definitely, we're going to have a conversation. Couldn't believe that. What she doing? I had to be on Facebook. I couldn't believe that. She had to be on Facebook. She want to talk to me. Oh Lord, why? Why should I feel discouraged? Why should I shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and love heaven and home? When Jesus He
10 seconds.
is my portion. I'm tired of these messy viewers. I'm tired of getting in mess. And I know He who is me. I see because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. Okay, that was it. Y'all gotta donate a little bit more. Y'all want me to keep on thinking, gotta donate. I'm gonna do like some of these other content creators. I get up and sing if you know. Woo, I feel like singing, you know. I couldn't believe that she just sent me up. Then you be watching. Why you watching me, folks? What you watching me? Go ahead and do your series. Do you know if Jack Nutriburst was fired? Tasha said he was. I don't know if he was fired for Nutriburst. That I don't know anything about Nutriburst, but I did see Tasha K, baby. Tasha K is selling you Nutriburst. She's selling Vavu. She's selling you that, and she's selling you that Pangea wash, for the yoni. And what else is she selling y'all? She's selling y'all some fake, false, cold tea, but I love it because it's entertainment. I love it because it's entertainment. I love it. Can't wait till these celebrities go back outside because she can really go get some exclusives. We have an exclusive. Is it sound right? Yeah, I love her. I love me some Tasha. Hit the wine glasses. Hit the wine glass. I love me some Tasha K. I don't care what nobody say. I love her. Tasha K, I love you. You know I love you, right? I love you, Tasha K. Wherever you at, I love you. I really, really love Tasha K. Vavu. I don't know what it is. Vavu. Somebody please give me the time style. I gotta remember that perfume. Oh my God. This is a lit video. Oh gosh. Okay, y'all. Oh, I'm about to drink me some water and some boiled eggs. Whew, Lord have mercy. Thank you so very much for that donation. Shout out to y'all for that. Thank you so much for that donation. Somebody just donate. God bless you, sister. Wow. Thank you all so very much for coming through. I need this to get through my work. Yes, thank you all so much. So we'll be back. I will be doing a part 2 of my review of G Status, G Hustle, ATO Status. They just released the episode because YouTube took it down, so they just re-released it. So it's a 2 hours. So I'm on 1 hour and 30 minutes of it. So I will be reviewing that today. So I don't know if I will have the after show with Sherrod, but I just know that I will be breaking down that show. If you all want to watch it, let me send you all the link because I know some of you all need something to watch, and it's a good show. It was getting good. Let me send y'all the link. Give me a second. I'm gonna send you all the link. Oh no, that ain't the link. That's Ike. I'm gonna send you all the link. Give me 1 second. Oh wow. Okay. Because I'm on an hour and 11 minutes and 48 seconds. That's the part that I'm on. So if y'all want to watch this tonight, we will be doing a review of that. So I got my notes. So I'm gonna have to go to the Walmart today and give me one of these pads because I write better with this because it's some smaller stuff of that big, thick notebook. I'm gonna put it on here. They are a mess. Yes, Jay. See, Jay be watching it and everything. So I put it in there. So if anybody want to watch that show, tell them that Wiley sent you. Put a comment down there to help us get guests when they let us know Let it be known. I started watching Chasing Dallas because thank you. Now everybody want me to audition for Chasing Dallas. Everybody want me to audition for Chasing Dallas. I don't know. Everybody want me to audition for Chasing Dallas. Everybody haven't said you should audition, everything like that. Let me go because I am on a tremendous. Everybody is saying we want you to audition.
Exclusive. That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
Okay, so I think I need to audition. Everybody's saying Wiley audition for Chasing Dallas. So, the retreat now casts all faces, new faces. So what you need, applicants must be in the DFW area, must be 21 and older. We are a catch for all new spinoff under Chasing Dallas. The retreat, old faces versus new, and one vacation. If you're in DFW, apply clicking the link in the bio. Okay, so let me click the link. Let me go ahead. Let me audition for this. Being in the house, since y'all all want me to audition. Okay, give me a second. They say they want me to audition. So, child, here we go. Me to audition, so we will definitely audition for that. All right. Yeah. So we will be auditioning. Everybody want me to audition. I'll put my name in there. And when is Greenleaf? Somebody says I'm watching Greenleaf. When is it coming back on? When is Greenleaf coming back on? Somebody please tell me, put it in my DMs. When is Greenleaf? Is it today? Is Greenleaf coming back on today? Let me know. I would definitely do this. Everybody want me to audition, so I'm going to go ahead and audition, child. The retreat was this week. Okay, let me know. Don't be telling me the audition. Y'all tell me the date. Please, somebody Google that right quick. This is our meeting. Please tell me. Give me a second. My producers won't be because we coming in with an audience. Who is your favorite season 2 cast member? King Kane. King Kane was my favorite. That's my baby. Have you ever got to? Oh, that's me. Ooh. Give me a second. What? They gotta be trying. They got to be trying it. So we already missed the episode. We missed the episode. What about the? Oh wow, we missed the episode already. It was on last night. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna have to come back and do a review for that. I didn't even know it. I was asleep. Yeah, I was getting some green sleep. I'm gonna have to review that. Get to make sure I get the days. Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Give me a second. So we already missed the episode. Greenleaf Show had me want to watch for a week straight. So I'm going to watch it. Thank you for that. I didn't even know like they had it like that. Let me see. Y'all want me to audition, so here we go. Let's get it done. Okay. The reason why I should be on Chasing Dollars, number one, because I'm fucking entertaining. As you can see, the eye is cocked. And also, I made it in the news for something I did. I did have a mental breakdown and destroyed some library books. But the library did get some renovation. So I think I will be really, really lit. And I also will coming in with over 10,000 plus subscribers. And my people will definitely be there watching every sucking week, okay? And also, the last point, I don't mind slapping a motherfucker if they get out of order. If they try to slap me, I will slap back. I do know, I know how to body slam books, and I do know how to body slam human beings. So I think I would be really, really great up on Chasing Dallas because I'm a part of Dallas now, and I really think they need somebody like a Wiley on there. Yeah, they need me. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Y'all get it live in color. Let me see. Where's the video? Okay, let me see, child. We have been doing it. They had to call me. Y'all let them know. Bring Wiley up on it. Because the last time we auditioned, y'all up in my head. Oh, well, that's a good idea for Wiley to review the show. We'll give him traffic too. Yes. So I definitely will be reviewing. I'm about to review the show. I'm about to watch it right now after this. I got cable. And then I'm gonna watch it, write down the list of the character. Because one thing about reviews, I be forgetting these character names and stuff. So when I watch it, I'm gonna be good. You should definitely be on Chasing Dollars. Don't promote violence, whatever you do. Okay, I ain't gonna promote violence. Child. Let me submit it. There we go. It's complete. It's done. It is done. Okay. Now the all right, so I did it in there. Let me send a screen share. I can't believe. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to screen share that, child. Y'all ain't about to see that. Let me go to Instagram so y'all can see. So I'm gonna need everybody to go to my Instagram and like and tag and Chase Ria. Let them know that we have an audience. Let me go right into there. Okay, I just posted that I cast in there. So let me show you. Oh, let me see. Give me a second. Okay. Screen share this. Let me screen share this. Yeah, so we sent it in. All right. See, y'all see that, don't you? It's official. It's official. We sent it in. Ooh, lights. Okay, y'all. We'll see y'all later. We blah 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 blah. Oh baby, hey, I just set that in there. Well, we thank y'all so very much for tuning in to the episode of the Wiley Show. We sent it in for casting. So we shall see. Okay. I should have just catfished somebody when I was doing it. I should have just went on and catfished somebody. So go over there, like that post, tag them in it. Tag them in it. I already tagged in the people. Let them know that we here. All right. Now we sent it in. Now we got 79 people. I should be seeing 79, 80 comments. Interviewed them. Oh, they better call you. Right. I interviewed in all that type of stuff. Oh, Lord. Woo. Okay, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Let me go because I got to go watch some more stuff. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Peace.